Thank you, Roger. I am deeply moved to receive this honor from you, my dear friend, who share with me a fascination with the small things of life and the ever-changing human conditions. Thank you. Tom, Rafaela, Jay, and the team at NYC, thank you so much for this award. It means so much to me. Congratulations to Michael, Deborah, and Erica. I admire you, and I'm grateful to be among you today. I am honored to receive this award in the name of the Drews, Robert and Andrew, along with Leacock, Pim Baker, and Maceless, who lead a revolution in documentaries that lead us all to be here together today. The ability to look in on people's lives at crucial times from which you deduce certain things and see a kind of truth that can only be gotten by personal experience, this was Robert Drew's true definition of cinema verite filmmaking. Taking the time to be present, to observe, and above all, to be patient is essential to my process. When I premiere Tea Time, about a group of elderly women who get gathered together once a month for tea since they graduated from school, one of the protagonists, an 80 years old woman, went to different theaters every day to see the audience reactions, and she got furious when they congratulated her on how well she had learned the script. She replied angrily, "It's not a script, it's my real life. I haven't learned anything." Even so, she still asked me when I'm going to make a real film to become a real filmmaker. The public asking what is real and what is not real in my documentaries started to become a great compliment. Until this year, when I premiered Eternal Memory, was the first time that nobody asked me if it was real or not. At the beginning, I didn't know if I had to be worried about it or not. For different reasons, it was the first time I was making a film where I had less control. In my previous film, one of the important concepts that I incorporated in the observation to achieve the actions I wanted in front of the camera, I learned from Nicolas Philibert and his idea of programming chance. Understanding that if you patiently observe a place and its character for a long enough period of time, you can predict the things that happen in that routine, so as filmmakers, we can be prepared for them. You just need to have a time and a lot of patience. A scarce resource in life and in our film budget do not keep us from this key factor in observational filmmaker. You have to wait for it, wherever it is, you have to wait. In my first film, The Lifeguard, I learned about the ways of preparing of random chance events in order to achieve a narrative in shooting. The film tells the story of a lifeguard who is completely afraid of water. But that doesn't matter because for him, prevention is the most important thing. The problem is that he worked in the most dangerous beach in Chile. So for me, a key scene for that narrative was the moment when the lifeguard had to face a rescue situation. Would he jump into the water or not? But the beach was so big that I was never going to be at the right place at the right time. If I was filming a secondary character when this happened, I will not make it soon enough with the camera. So the only way to study the behavior on the beach, I spent months watching the patterns of action of the place and study Navy reports. That's when I discovered something. A remarkably large percentage of the major life-threatening incidents on that beach happened in February between 5 and 6 p.m., and always in the same area. It was an easy statistic for prevention, but nobody used it. It was a number that was not useful for the story because it was an observational documentary. However, it was very important information to prepare for a random chance event, such as a water-averse lifeguard being left not choice but to get in the water. So, for several weeks, we stood there every day at 5 p.m. waiting and nothing happened. Until one day, the longed-for rescue scene happened at 5:30 in the same place as always, and I had the opportunity to shoot the scene. It was a great lesson for me and determined my way of making films. You have to investigate and patiently look to program for random chance events, achieving in the observation the narrative and image that we want. We will always be surprised and will have to navigate the abyss, but there are patterns and behavior that repeat themselves and help us find scenes as we imagine it in the style that we imagine it, because we are waiting for it. Research is our form of control in the midst of the lack of control. Without a doubt, we are directors who know how to deal with chaos and surprise. And at the end of the day, that also prepares us for life. Cinema is a factory of experience for the spectators, but documentaries are also a factory of experience for documentary filmmakers. A couple of months ago, I filmed my first fiction film, the one that the lady from Tea Time was hoping I will make someday so I could be a real director. And well, you arrive to the set and you shoot what the shooting plan says, and if the scene doesn't convince you, you can repeat it. You have the control of everything. What are the challenges? The problems are, it's getting dark, we are losing the lights, like not real problems. Almost every problem that I see can be resolved with money. It was strange to being able to decide about every single thing, because in life you can rarely decide about everything. In the end, as documentary filmmakers, we are never in control, not even when we program random chance events, because we live the pain and fragility of our characters, often with frustrations, and there's nothing that we can do about it. And probably one of my biggest lessons of the eternal memory is the gift that appears when you lose control. In the middle of the lockdown, we had to suspend filming. In Chile, the lockdown was very strict. You cannot move without passes, and it was for a year and a half. So I asked to the protagonists if they would begin to shoot themselves. I gave Pauli very little directions in this regards. I instructed her to press record on a simple handheld camera, and I didn't want to her make frames just to record that would continue the story. I thought I would never use the material that I'd received because it was completely out of focus. She never learned how to use the camera, and for me, that I am very concerned about the image, that it was a problem. But at the end, they are so deep, and it was the most intimate scenes that I ever had, and that is what cinema is about. Cinema is about emotions. Many people ask us how it's possible that in the eternal memory we laugh and cry, that it is supposed to be a drama. Well, that is how life is. We can have a good day and being through hell in the midst of drama. Nothing is black and white. Emotions coexist. What happens is that we have become accustomed to genres of fictions where everything is separated, a drama from a comedy. During the eternal memory, I saw that there is an emotional memory that it's permanent. Feeling remains in the body in different ways, so we live with them, the pain, the humor, and the happiness that keeps in the body even when the information is gone. Augusto Góngora, the protagonist of the eternal memory, was also a documentary filmmaker, and he gave me a great lesson about motivations. During the dictatorship, he made clandestine newscasts filming and documenting the pain and fragility of a country. When I invited him to make the documentary, he said, "Many people open the door of their home to me to show their fragility, so why wouldn't I show my own in mine?" A film must always exist in spite of everything. For him, the role of documentary filmmakers was to give every social issue or problem an intimate image. In The Eternal Memory, Paulina, his wife, says that the only way to evolve as a society is for all of us to take care of another human being in some point of our life. I believe that there are many ways to take care of others, and today I want to thank to all those who have been taking care of me and continue to do so. In my documentaries in Spanish, made in Chile, have been seen around the world, and I am standing here today, it's not because of me, it's because many people helped me to take every little step in the right direction. Thank you, MTV Documentaries, Shaila and Lisa, who gave support champion The Eternal Memory and made sure that we'll be screening cinemas around the world before the streaming online. It's so important for a director today to have theatrical, and it's going to be in 40 countries. Thank you. And it's the most seen documentaries in Chilean cinema in history, and that is such an honor. Thank you. Thank you to the POV team, Justine Nagan and Chris White, for being the first to program my films in the United States. Thanks, Simon Kilmurray, for making me believe that there was a place for me here. Thank you. Thank you, Ryan Harrington and Rebecca Lichtenstein, for financing my first project and teaching me that you were interested in voices and not in topics. Thank you. Thank you for Chicken and Egg. You were a life changer. In 2020, the year of my award, you helped me believe that being a filmmaker really was my profession and made me give up everything that distracted me from that. I am professionally autonomous thanks to the courage that you gave me. Thank you. Thanks. Thanks to Josh Brown and the Submarine team to help me to find the perfect place for my films. Thank you, Rina Ronson, for promote my films and my work, and for helping me understand that women have other requirements as mothers in the film industry, and what we have to demand and defend them, which was something that I was ashamed of, and you helped me to defend and promote. And my most, thank you, Rina. And my most eternal and immense thanks to my guardian angels, Julie Goldman and Chris Clements. See. Thank you. I never thought there could be producers like you with whom I want to share every creative idea, because your feedback always takes films further. Thank you for never imposing a deadline that is not coherent with the process of a film. Thank you for always thinking in the best creative and business idea, and also for doing this while taking care of my good sleep, my quality life, and my emotional relationships. What's the point of making films if we are not going to live the way that we want to live life? And you have helped me to achieve that. Thank you very much. Thank you.